Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm going to do a quick rundown here of this Signal Scope indicator. Um, a lot of you guys lost access when we did some updates on it over the weekend and updated the script. Apologize for that. And if you're one of those people, just go ahead and DM your username to the currency merchant on Twitter, or go ahead and shoot us an email to tcmoptions@gmail.com. Um, so I've had a lot of questions over the weekend, which is good. Um, I had planned for that, so I'm going to answer a couple of the main questions and also break down the indicator. So let's just break it down first and what you're seeing on the screen here. This blue line here is the 5 DMA. Okay. The way I trade it is when this is sloping down, you want to be very careful on longs. Doesn't mean you can't scalp. Just means you might want to adjust your position sizing. When this is sloping down, you're looking to go long. If you usually size with 4 NQ minis, maybe bucket down to 1 with tighter stops, and vice versa. When it starts sloping upwards, it's really when you want to be buying the dips. So, um, when the buy signals, we'll turn the buy signals on right here in settings, and the sell signals. I'm gonna keep the EMAs off for now. So 5 DMA upward sloping, buy signal, demand zone. That's a lot of confluence right there. That's a trade you would always take to the long side. Same thing right here, guys. Any dip right here, 15-minute close above the supply zone, you're going to want to take that trade. Um, Obviously, right here as well, you've got 2 buy signals here on the NQ 15 minutes. Check the 5 DMA, still upward sloping. Now, when this is sloping upwards, will I take shorts in the short signals? It depends. If we're in a supply zone, I will take it light with a really tight stop. I might opt for an option on the triple Qs, 2 to 3 weeks just to buy some time and let the trade play out. But you can see we're sloping up here, and although it turned out to be, supply zone, not a trade I took at all. This is still sloping upwards. Again, if you wanted to take it, size light, maybe do a put option on the QQQ at the money 3 weeks out instead of playing NQ or ES or MNQ. So question I get is what other tools do I utilize with the algo? You can see right here, these are just basic supply and demand levels. There's a ton of YouTube videos on these already, guys. If you wanted me to make one, I will, but it would probably be redundant of something else that you could already search on there. And the other tool I utilize is the TTM Squeeze by John Carter. I use the pro version. I think the free version is fine as well. I'm going to do a separate video on this, and it'll be on there tonight, explaining how I utilize it and the ins and outs of the indicator. So you can obviously see your green up triangles, your buy signals, red down triangles are your sell signals. Again, 5 DMA upward sloping. You really want to hammer the buys, especially when we get confluence with the demand zone. And let's move into the bullish and bearish imbalance candles. So these candles right here that are filled with blue and green, these are called bullish imbalance candles. The candles that are purple or solid red are called bearish imbalance candles. Now, we've done a lot of back testing on these candles for several years back, but a quick stat here, since January 1st, there's been 34 bullish imbalance candles on NQ here, and 77% of those have resulted in some form of short-term upside over the next candle. Does it always mean it's going to happen? No, it does not. It's only giving us a 77% chance. But it's just more confluence. As it stands right now, I do not pay too much attention to the bearish imbalance candles. In back testing, there wasn't a ton of confluence, although I've only gone back 3 years on that so far. But we'll do some deeper diving here on those higher time frames. If we get one on the daily chart, it can be a sign of seller exhaustion. And a potential trend change in the coming days. Let's dive into the settings here. So these are your basic 821 EMAs. Just a little bit more confluence, guys. So, when the 5's up sloping, 821 up sloping, upsloping. You've got a bullish imbalance candle here. You're closing outside of a demand zone. That's a trifecta trade right now. That's a trade I would always take. So as far as demand goes, I like to wait for a 15-minute close outside of the demand zone, preferably a break and a retest. So we break here, we retest the 8 EMA here, and then we get a nice pop. We're just looking for confluence, guys. The more data points we can gather and put together for a trade, the more chances of our trade going in the way we are wanting it to. So this was NQ today. You can see the buy and sell signals. Again, declining 5 DMA. Although these panned out, you want to size lighter than you would if this were upsloping and we had buy signals. So, one NQ mini, whatever your risk tolerance is. And let's go back into the settings here. So let's turn these off and let's scroll down. These are just going to be your bullish and bearish imbalance candles. You're always going to want to have those on. And again, fast EMA and slow EMA, so basic 821. These are going to be our buy and sell signal thresholds. This is default, so just leave this the way it is. Do not change that. Let's see. Someone asked if I only trade off the algo signals. The answer is no, guys. It's just adding more confluence and data. It's giving us more data. The more data we get, the more chance we have of our trade going the way we are anticipating it to go. Basic supply and demand, like I said. If we have a dip opportunity in a demand zone and there's not a buy signal, am I still going to take it? More than likely, yes. Again, just more data points, more confluence. Let's go to the Qs here. You can kind of see we've been trading in this box here. Really since the beginning of May. But you can kind of see, especially in the Qs, when we get these bullish imbalance candles, that you tend to have some form of upside, coming on the way. But again, what's the confluence here? 5 DMA inclining, 821 EMAs inclining. So that is what you're after here. We kind of start to get jumbled here. Everything comes together, the 5, 821, so things are getting a little messy. Then you can see now here, my opinion, we're just going to be box trading until we can bust, really, the 523 level for the Qs, or down to the 511. I don't think we have a breakout or breakdown until we break one of those levels. So on the next video, I'm going to go ahead and cover the squeeze indicator and how I utilize it. Again, a lot of videos on it, but I think it would be beneficial to give you guys some insight on how I trade it. If you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comments. If you guys wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing. And again, guys, if you lost access during the update, again, apologize. Go ahead and DM your username to the currency merchant on Twitter or tcmoptions@gmail.com, and we'll send out an email later today with this video linked as well. So again, any questions, guys, go ahead and let us know. Hope you guys have a great night.